the NFL.
The National Football League.
Here we go. Yeah, the NFL, baby. I should have probably done like a little something in the background, but
Well, I'm excited about this because we don't even know the order in which we're drafting yet. Are we flipping a coin?
We're gonna flip.
Do you have a coin?
Yes, I'm sure I have a coin.
All right, you flip and I call it in the air, and what winner gets first pick? Is that how we'll do
I
it?
have a dollar bill. Is that good?
Yeah, I don't care. We didn't think this through. I don't have a coin anywhere nearby.
I usually have a coin. Oh, that's
I'm one of those people that does not carry cash.
You know what I'm gonna flip?
For money.
I'm gonna flip my debit card.
Yeah, why not?
Or I'll flip this. I'll flip a Amazon gift card.
Sure.
So
why not?
The Happy Holidays stop. Well, this is one
Heads.
of Cam's that he had to give us because
we'll call that
something.
heads.
Yeah. So that's
Happy
heads,
head.
and
Happy
then
head.
The back is tails. All right.
Okay.
So
all right.
what do you have? Happy holidays. So what do you?
I'm gonna go heads.
You're gonna go heads
for the first pick.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm throwing this thing on the floor. Wait.
All right.
You know what? Maybe I'll do it over here. Here we go. Right? Oh.
So it was tails.
Yes.
Okay, so I have the number 2 pick. All right.
Yes, you have number 2. Number 2, which means that I have the easiest
well, this is
pick
fun
in the
for me.
draft.
That means I get the Dolphins. So
I have the easiest pick in the draft, is what that means.
By the way, we should both point out that we are wearing jerseys today. I have my authentic Cam Wake Miami Dolphins jersey, and you have I don't know who that is. Is that Diggs? No. Who is it? I can't remember who 14 is on the...
Diggs!
It is Diggs. Okay. Yeah, all right. Nice. That's awesome. That's not authentic, is it?
I don't know, maybe.
Well, normally I can tell. Authenticora, which is my other nickname, usually can tell. Yeah, it doesn't look like one. No. It's got replica written all over it.
I ain't spending for the big stuff. I ain't got that money. Money.
Oh, I don't either, but I still won't buy a jersey unless it's authentic. So, all right, let's go.
This is as authentic as I'll go.
Yeah.
All right. So, we should probably get some music in the background. Let's see what we got here. Let me see what I got for NFL music. There we go. We'll put this in the background. This is kind of some stuff. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, good.
No, not that one. I can't. That's going to get us copywritten.
Okay.
How about this one? All right. I think this is something. I don't know what it is, but hopefully something will kick on soon. Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's got some old school football going. All right. So what we have here is the number 1 pick. I'm going to start the clock right now. Ready?
Yes.
Boom. Number 1 pick overall is the easiest pick in the draft. We have the Jacksonville Jags, and probably the number 1. Everybody seems to think that this guy can't miss. And that is Trevor Lawrence. Easiest pick in the draft, stud quarterback, and it's exactly what the Jags need. So they are going to go.
The music Lawrence. Timed with your pick very well.
Yes. So there you go.
Up right when you said Trevor Lawrence.
There you go.
Hey, I'm with you on this. Listen, you know what? Urban Meyer did not.
And that's who they're going to pick.
NFL.
Yeah,
yes.
That's who they are going to pick.
Yeah, you might as well just sign him right now.
We can do that too. As we're picking, if you want to say like what they're going to pick is probably this, but this is who I would pick if I was the GM, and this is who I would pick, and this is who everybody would pick if they were the GM.
I think Urban Meyer did not come out of retirement to go, or really I should say he didn't make the jump from college to the NFL.
Right.
To pick anybody other than Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence is considered to be the surest thing since Andrew Luck.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So there you go. You got that.
With the number 2 pick
in
the Shane and the Bri Man Sports and Sorts NFL mock draft.
Uh-huh.
The New York Jets are at it again, selecting a quarterback, Zach Wilson from Brigham Young University.
Is that who you would pick?
That's
what I want to know. That's what
it is. It is also who I would pick. I mean, I think behind Lawrence, he's probably the safest bet. I have some. I don't know. I have some other concerns, I guess, about guys like Justin Fields and Trey Lance. I wouldn't touch McCorkle Jones. also known as Mac Jones. I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't touch him with a 50-foot steel pole. I have a ton of concerns about Mac Jones.
Okay.
Zach Wilson reminds me of like a poor man's Patrick Mahomes in a way.
He reminds me of a poor man's Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford? Or Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold, yeah.
Oh.
Not Bradford. Sam Darnold. That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah, he reminds me of a poor man's Mahomes. Certainly not the size, not quite the athleticism, but he's very creative with the ball, though. Mm-hmm. And he can make a lot of those kind of funky throws, too. Now, again, the question is, can he do it to that level? I don't know. But listen, beyond Trevor Lawrence, I don't think there are any sure things in this draft at the quarterback position. I think you've got Trevor Lawrence and then projects. But I think of those projects, Zach Wilson's probably the one I would go with. Number 2.
All right. I like it.
I don't love it, but whatever.
Well, I mean, if I was picking there, I would take Justin Fields.
Okay.
Because
that's fair. He's very athletic.
I think he's got higher upside. I think I don't like Wilson. I'm not a fan. I don't even think I'd take him in the top 10. I would just let him go. But anyway, all right. So now we get into the number 3 pick. And I'm going to start the clock for me. The 49ers, in my opinion, should select. They should. Because what they're going to do is they're going to take your boy McCorkle.
I don't think they are. I think that's a smokescreen.
They're going to take him. That's who I think they're going to take. I think who I think they should take is I think they should take Trey Lance. Because he's got an enormous amount of talent. I think that you just let Jimmy Garoppolo play this year. Maybe play the whole year if he can stay healthy. Sure. But I think you should at least play him for half the year and then maybe trade him if he's playing well. And then you can slide that guy in, slide Trey Lance in. But because I think that ultimately this guy could, if he lives up to potential of his athleticism and everything like that, he could be the best overall quarterback in this draft. The problem is there is high upside and there's actually some low downside as well. So I like the kid. I want to see him. I would like to see him go into a situation like this where he could stay on the sidelines for about a year, maybe 2, and learn and then grow and come in because he's like the youngest quarterback in the draft too, I believe. I think he's only going to be 20. Yeah. So that's who I would pick if I was the 49ers is Trey Lance and let him grow on the sidelines.
So is it Trey Lance that you're?
That's who I'm picking, yeah.
That's who you're picking?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had 3 quarterbacks go. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'll tell you what. This is going to make me pivot now. So I am actually going to throw. I'm going to throw a trade in here.
Whoa.
And I'm not going to give you the details of the trade, but I'm essentially going to give you a swap. So the Broncos, who are very quarterback desperate, are going to slide into this pick, make the trade with
the Falcons.
So that means with the Falcons. So the Broncos will move up to 4, and the Falcons will go to 9. Okay. So now with I don't think the
Falcons would select it. I don't think they would take it, but okay.
With the 4th pick. Now here I'll tell you my reason for doing this, because as much as the Falcons would probably love to take a guy like Kyle Pitts and make their offense unstoppable. Their offense is not the problem currently. Their defense is a major issue.
They need more offense, though.
Do they, though?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, hold on. So right now you've got Matt Ryan, who still has another 2 years left on his contract, and who, by the way, I still think has a little bit left to give. Okay.
I think if he has enough offensive weapons.
He's got Julio Jones. He's got Calvin Ridley, which is maybe by far the best wide receiving tandem in the league. He's got a good tight end already in Hayden Hurst, and they have a very solid running back in Todd Gurley. Offense for that team is not the problem. They need defense in the worst way. This also allows them to accumulate some more picks because in order to make that jump from 9 to 4, it's going to cost you. So not only are the Broncos going to give up 9, but they're probably going to have to give up another second rounder, and they might even have to cough up next year's first. I don't know. I don't know what the cost is. There's charts for that kind of stuff, and I don't know what the cost would be. But I would think at the very least, a second and a third rounder, probably in this year's draft to make the move, and it could be more than that. So with the 4th pick, the Broncos, because now, and the reason why I'm doing this is because now the quarterback run has begun, and the Broncos don't want to be left sitting at 8 or 9, I should say, to hope that they can get a guy. Okay? So now they have their choice between either McCorkle Jones or Justin Fields. And if I'm the Denver Broncos, I'm taking Justin Fields at number 4. You need that guy. You need Justin. You need a quarterback. Wow. Drew Lock's not the answer. I don't get me wrong. I liked Drew Lock coming out of college. I think he went to Purdue. I liked him a lot, but he's. I think you've seen enough to know that he's probably just not the guy. And Justin Fields is just an athletic freak who could just really make things happen with his arm, big arm with his legs. Played in a pro-style offense at Ohio State. There's just a lot to like there. And I think the quarterback run has begun. It started right with pick number 1, and it continues with pick number 4. Justin Fields is the newest member of the Denver Broncos.
Wow. So I'm shocked. I was...
Well, we wanted to make this a little bit different and fun, right? I didn't want to just...
Yeah, because if I was the Falcons, I would take Pitts all the way. But I think that is you sneakily getting who you want. And as a Dolphins fan. All right.
We'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
So as the Cincinnati Bengals GM, I am going to... So I'm torn here. This is where... Because you didn't let Kyle Pitts go to the Falcons, which is what I was expecting to happen. But you made a trade.
Which is also what I think will happen.
You made a trade.
Yeah.
And now the Bengals... They have the opportunity. They have 2 opportunities here. They can give the Bengals a better target to throw to and help Joe Burrow out that way, or they can protect him. And I know Burrow wants his buddy.
He wants Jamar Chase.
To throw to, because I know that's just what he wants, and that's
or I'm sure he wouldn't hate Pitts either.
Right, he would be very happy with Pitts, but I think he wants his boy. But I think the smart pick here, the smart pick is to take Penei Sewell.
It is.
You gotta protect this guy for the long term. Yeah. This guy didn't give up a sack throughout his whole college career. Yeah. He's insane. So I think that's what you need to do. You need to take an offensive lineman here to protect your number 1 pick from last year. Yep. And that's what I would do. I just can't. I would like to take Pitts and give him another offensive weapon, but that will help a little bit, but not as much as it won't help as much as having a better offensive line.
Well, speaking of Kyle Pitts, that brings us to the Miami Dolphins, who are picking at number 6. You did it! And they are going to take Kyle Pitts, who is sitting there at the board.
Wow.
They were very happy to see him fall there. I think it was serendipitous that the Broncos decided to trade up and get their quarterback, because they didn't want to wait around to 9 to make sure they didn't want to end up with McCorkle Jones, that's for sure. So the bottom line is Dolphins get their man, Kyle Pitts. They team him up with Mike Gesicki, and you have a tight end mismatch nightmare that the NFL is going to see unfold in 2021 and beyond. Because now the Miami Dolphins this is the year of giving Tua. Last year was the year of picking Tua. This is the year of giving Tua his weapons. In the offseason so far, they've bolstered depth on the offensive line to help out. And they picked up a guy that, you may know, I was thrilled. Probably was the one wide receiver outside of Curtis Samuel that I wanted more than anyone else, which was Will Fuller, because Will Fuller stretches the field, takes a safety with him. He can cause problems. Now, what this does is now you put Pitts, who, by the way, is very versatile, because he can line up wide or he can line up inside as a tight end, put 3 fingers on the ground. Very versatile guy, which, of course, the V word is, Chris Greer and Brian Flores, you're speaking their language when you pull out versatile and versatility. That's their thing.
Oh, that's the V word?
Now, Pitts, yes, that's the V word. So that's what's going to happen now, though, is you might have a potential offensive threat here of Will Fuller on one side, Devontae Parker on the other side. And then you've got then you've got Pitts and Gesicki in there. And those 2 guys going over the middle. And if they can get themselves at 18, a running back, possibly by the name of Najee Harris, the Dolphins could really create some offensive mismatchup nightmares here. They could cause a lot of problems. on offense. And if Tua develops the way that I think he will, and that most of Dolphin fans think he will, you're going to see a very explosive offense this year with Kyle Pitts.
Cool. All right. See, so if I had the number 2, and I think that if like Pitts, went to the Falcons, because if I had 2, 4, 6, I would have gone with Chase, Jamar Chase, as your receiver.
And I think that that's probably what will happen. Yes. Which, by the way, I would not be upset with, because to me, he's the heir apparent to Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker's in he's a better version of Devontae Parker, quite frankly. Parker's in the last year of his contract now. They extended him a couple of years. He's in the last year of that now. And I think he leaves after this year, and Chase takes that slot.
All right. I like it. I like what you're thinking. All right. So let's get into my number. I got number 7 here, which is like, the Lions need everything. So I'm going to be boring again here. What I'm going to pick here is I'm going to go with the offensive tackle, Rashawn Slater. They need everything under the sun. The one thing that the Lions will need is an offensive line, because if they don't have an offensive line that's even somewhat decent, Goff is screwed. He is not a guy who can play on the run. He's not a guy who can think really fast. He is the guy that needs protection. He needs to be able to kind of sit and move in around the pocket and not be under that much pressure. Unfortunately, I don't think that this is going to help all that much, because their team's just a hot mess. It's a heated mess. So therefore, I think that you're going to see them go with offensive tackle, because I think whoever they get in the future, because this team is probably going to finish in the bottom half of the division anyway. So they're going to have another high pick next year. And granted, quarterback class is terrible next year. So they probably won't get a quarterback next year. But I don't think they're looking to win in the next 2 years. I think they're looking maybe 4 or 5 years from now is when they might have the ability to win. So I think you're looking at, Goff kind of just keeping them at the 4 to 6 win range per year, but keeping them in that 1 to 12 draft picks for a long period of time. And then we'll go from pretty much there, because they need offensive tackle, you need offensive line, and I think getting a quarterback in maybe 3 years is going to be what's going to be the play, unless they can trade for like a Jimmy Garoppolo or something like that, and which is a possibility. It's always a possibility, but the Lions are just trash.
Yeah. Nope. I think that's a good pick. So that brings us to the Panthers. Now, again, you're actually somewhat forcing me to pivot here. Not to make a trade, but to at least pivot in my pick, because I actually was going to mock Rashawn Slater to the Panthers, because they need an offensive tackle. That being said,
I do think that I think the Patriots are going to trade for this pick.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
What, to get McCorkle?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm not going to do it, because I don't want to give the Patriots the satisfaction of anything, of moving into anywhere. Plus, I don't want to make a pick on their behalf, because I hate them. Although I hate Mac Jones. I don't hate Mac Jones, but I don't think Mac Jones is going to be a good pro, so maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to mock them to the Pats. But anyways, so at number 8, now the Panthers are, look, they just traded for Sam Darnold, right? So they're giving him a fresh start. He has some weapons there. He has DJ Moore at receiver. He has Robbie Anderson at receiver. He has Christian McCaffrey, who is a guy who's going to catch 100 balls and, and he's going to carry the rock a few hundred times. I mean, he's, but you know what? If you really want to help Sam Darnold out here, how about giving him the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith, and setting him up for really big success? I think if you add a guy like Devontae Smith, who just gracefully glides across the field, almost like nobody I've ever seen since like Jerry Rice, just the way he runs his routes, the separation that he's able to create naturally, is just, he's a special guy. I mean, he is a special player, Devontae Smith. And I think he really helps stretch the field for them. I think he'll open up their offense a lot. I think he'll benefit Christian McCaffrey a ton. And I think if you look at that offense now, where you've got Anderson, Moore, Devontae Smith, Christian McCaffrey, and a revitalized Sam Darnold could see some fireworks down in Carolina. So I think maybe they pick up. I would have had them picking Rashad Slater here, but I think, you give them another offensive weapon, and that takes a lot of pressure off of Darnold too in year one, and it really allows him to flourish and gives him, something. It gives him an arsenal to work with.
Okay.
So that would be my pick at number 8.
All right. Now I have the Falcons at 9.
Yes, you do.
All right. This is tough because this is where I have to pivot. So let's
Now,
see.
if you want to go by my logic, even though it's now your pick, I did this because I think they need defense more than anything else. But again, this is
right.
I don't want to. I don't want to influence you.
No. You're not going to influence me here. I have my guys over here.
How about just go crazy and make it an all Alabama receiving core and get Waddle?
No, because
Waddle and Jones and Ridley. Oh my!
So
holy shit!
Can
you imagine?
What I'm gonna do here is now I feel like I have to go, because we're at the point now where things like the top people that I think are really out there are definitely gone for the Falcons for the most part. There's still some really good picks, but the problem is I don't know. I'm not sure where they pick next, and if it's not until. If they don't have another pick in the first round, it's not until mid-second round or even the beginning of the second round.
It'd be early second round.
Right.
It'd be like 36 or something.
Right, but I'm not. And there are
the Dolphins are 36. I think they'd be 37.
There are a ton of cornerbacks left.
Yeah.
There's 2 that I really have on my list here, and I'm stuck here. Because there's one that I want for a different team.
Yep.
But I feel like I have to reach and take them now. And that's
not a reach. It's Patrick
Surtain. Well, it's not a reach. It's just that I wanted him to go to the Cowboys.
The Cowboys. And so did I, because that's who I was going to mock to him. So you've now made me pivot again.
So I would like to go with Patrick.
And this
Surtain.
is how the NFL draft works.
He is an absolute beast at corner. They need somebody. They need somebody to help slow down other teams that, and this is a guy that can kind of lock down some of those top tier receivers. Now, granted, he's a rookie. He's going to get burnt from time to time, but that's who I would go with. I think you have a legit cornerback on your hands. And that's good for them. But it's still not going to be enough to really help their defense overall that much.
Oh, I think it will. He is a lockdown corner, physical with size.
He is, but that's one guy.
Yeah,
but he's just taking one guy off the field, and it's like, I don't know. That's going to be tough because
can't say it's not an improvement on defense. Though.
They're going to still have a hard time getting to the quarterback. They're going to still have a hard time getting the people going over the middle of the field.
Well, the problem
they're not going to be able to slow down that much. They're just going to be taking one option out.
Right, and the problem with that pick is it's too early to get an edge guy or a linebacker because I guess it's a reach at that point. Yeah. When you start to think about guys like JOK from Notre Dame or Kwity Paye from Michigan.
This is something where they might have to.
Parsons from Penn State. It's a little too early.
If the Falcons were really looking to win this year, they would try and move up again, and they would try and move up into the mid to later of this round.
Well,
and then maybe try and get somebody like that. And then they might have to reach for some people because they need some defense. Like you said, I was figuring just go full offense and just try and kill on offense, but. That's what it is.
I mean, but they'll lose a lot of games 50-45. But anyways, all right. So that brings me to 10. Again, you're forcing me to pivot, but not too much because the Cowboys still have a glaring need at corner. So they're going to take J.C. Horn, the cornerback from South Carolina. Just makes sense. Good fit. I think they would have preferred Surtain, but this is a very acceptable consolation prize if you're the Dallas Cowboys. You're getting yourself a real high quality cornerback, and a guy that you can put right into your starting rotation there. So, and the Cowboys are a team that, now that they've got their quarterback back, everybody's healthy. They really should be able to win that division, I think. But who knows?
Right.
But this J.C. Horn will help them get there, though.
Great.
That's it. That's our top 10.
That is our top 10 of.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Had to think on the fly a little, a few times.
Which is what it's all about.
Yeah.
That was our NFL. Let me see if I can do this. Ready? I'm gonna do it again. Put that emoticon on there. Ready?
I'd be curious if any of our 3 or 4 listeners have any thoughts about how we did on that draft. I'd like a grade on that draft.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. The Bri Man he did 2, 4, 6, 8. Made a trade. And yep. I did 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We each did our picks. We had to pivot. All right. So that's it pretty much there with let's see, that one's going off here. Okay, that's the end of our the NFL talk. All right, now let's get into the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We will